and welcome to the show. As always, I'm super grateful to have you join me and my fantastic guest today. I'm so excited to have her. And we're going to have a really great conversation about a topic that is so near and dear to my heart and so near and dear to so many women and so many moms. So Jill, welcome to the show. I'm so excited to have you here.
So excited to be here.
Yay.
This is very exciting. Yeah.
So we were talking a little bit before the show about kind of our backgrounds kind of similar. We worked in the music industry and did some other things. Can you share a little bit about your story and your background and how you got to where you are today?
Yes. I love that our backgrounds are so similar because I rarely run into women who've worked in the music business. It's not a thing.
There's so few of us. I know.
So few of us. And
Yeah.
I thought I would be a music business junkie, and then I mushed it together. A business junkie forever.
Mm-hmm.
And I had my first baby girl, and I realized, well, maybe that's not going to work long. Running around with bands late at night. So while managing bands, that was the first business that I launched.
Mm-hmm.
I started my second business selling baby jewelry. Because some people stopped me and said, I really love what your daughter's wearing. And I said, well, you got to go buy it in Thailand because that's where I got it gifted from. And I wanted to stop sending people to Asia to buy it. So I thought I'll start importing it. And when I started selling that, I had not closed the first business.
Mm-hmm.
I was pregnant with baby number 2.
Oh my goodness.
About a year or 2 in. Right. And so I did exactly that. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
How to run businesses with 2 babies in a home office that's, very tiny.
Yes.
So I started a very self-serving business. Well, no, I didn't. I started a very self-serving meetup. I wanted to meet people who were sort of former music business junkies,
Mm-hmm.
but also really anybody who had a business and a baby. And I wanted them to tell me how they were doing it, really to get me out of my first business.
Yeah.
So I loved being in the music business for a long time, but then I was very excited to leave.
Yeah, I can relate to that so much. My whole dream growing up was to work in the music industry. I actually wanted to be a manager, but I went into A&R instead, which I loved, and it was phenomenal. But after years of being up till 4:00 in the morning and being in the bars and all those things, I was like, I cannot do this anymore.
Yeah. Well, no, I went into it because I was going to be a famous singer. I was going to be
okay.
And it didn't work out. Well, it didn't work out because I realized I love the business side of this.
Yeah.
I started doing management, and it was fantastic. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you started the Founding Moms from this kind of group that you started. Can you talk a little bit about, how did that go from just the group to actually starting the Founding Moms?
Right. That's what I mean when I say I didn't really start a business, because it wasn't an intention to launch this community organization.
Yeah.
I would laugh at people who talked about community back in the day. It was not a buzzword yet. I had this meeting going, and we decided, let's do this once a month. It's really helpful to pour your heart out to women who get it, who understand. It's not just, at the time, I only knew women in business who didn't have kids, or women who had kids but didn't have businesses. And it was really hard to find the combo.
Yeah.
So the one meetup turned into 6 months of meetups where a woman came to me and said, hey, I hate driving all the way here. Can you open up a chapter where I live? Which was 4 miles away. So I thought she was really lazy. But the laziest woman in the world led me to my light bulb moment, because I thought, well, okay, if I open a chapter near her, I need to input her zip code into the website I was using. And then I thought I could put in any zip code to any city. So I just went on a tear, and I started opening up city after city after city. And I started to feel like this is something much bigger than anything I've ever done before. So I, fortunately for me, shut down my music management business. I sold the baby jewelry business, and I put everything into this new organization. Now I put a name on it, the Founding Moms, and we've been going ever since. And
congratulations. That's amazing.
Thank you. 10 years. And I am still fascinated every day that there are mom entrepreneurs out there who don't know we exist and don't know that each other exists.
Yeah. Yeah. So tell us a little bit about what Founding Moms does. Like what is the resource or support or community? How does that look?
Thank you for asking.
Yeah.
We still continue to host founding exchanges, which is what we call our masterminds, twice a month in lots of cities everywhere, never enough cities. So we're always trying to open more. And we have an online portal now that we only have had for about 6 years, where we offer a new video course every month. We have a library of about 70 of them now. We have a buzzing forum where all of our members chat and ask all of the embarrassing questions. We have a business coaching program. We have a program that helps people find virtual assistants. We have literally, if you can think of a resource for mom entrepreneurs, we put it in there because we just want to help people grow and make.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's so cool. It's such a neat thing. I know you and I were talking a little bit before the show as well about, being a mom and either being in a career, whether that's a traditional career or as an entrepreneur, as a founding mom. I mean, our set of circumstances are so different than what the world is set up or structured around. And so we really have to find ways to support each other and work together to manage all of the things that are on our shoulders. So I love that you're doing this work.
Yeah. And I love how you frame it, that the world is not set up or designed to support us. And that's something I've, again, been doing this a decade and never really thought about how there's so much support for entrepreneurs in general, but not if you add this little crazy thing called parenthood.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, I was listening to a friend of mine's podcast a couple of days ago, and they were kind of talking about a similar thing, but they were talking about how the entrepreneur kind of metaphor, and I guess not metaphor, but the buzzword is always to hustle, and the idea is that you can find health even throughout all the crazy hustle. But the idea of just hustle to get it done, hustle, put all your time, stay up late, work all the time, do all those things, that is not a feasible thing when you're a mother and responsible for taking care of children and keeping little people alive. And, you have to understand how to balance everything. So it really isn't structured around.
It's funny because I have that same reaction to the word hustle, because so many, I'm going to generalize, men on Twitter talk about the hustle to make $2 billion in 6 weeks.
Yes.
So I can't stand that kind of hustle. But when I discovered health and hustle, it was like a breath of fresh air. And I took it a different way. Yeah, because it's not, I want to hustle. I like thinking that I'm a hustler, but at my own parental pace.
Yes. Yeah. That was one of the reasons why I picked the word in my business. I really played around with it for a long time because I didn't like the normal context that it was used, in the sense of like, if you're not hustling, basically you're a loser kind of thing.
Right.
And, and I wanted to take back ownership of that, because my hustle is my own, my desire to go get things and to provide for my family and to reach my dreams. And so it was really about taking back ownership of that word.
Yeah. I don't want to do it the way that I love the 4-hour work week, but it's not going to happen the way that he prescribes.
Yes. Yeah.
But he's not coming from a mom place. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah. Or a parent place at that. I mean, even parent dads, it's a different dynamic.
Different. It's very different.
Yeah. What are the things that you've kind of seen either amongst your community members, your followers, in the sense of figuring out how to balance being a founder or in a career and being a mom at the same time? Are there specific tools that you've seen work, or resources, or just tips or advice that you've found?
Yeah, I am not a huge fan of the whole goal being that we all need to find balance. I tend to prefer the word juggle. Because I don't think there's such a thing as balance. I don't think we need to achieve it. I really don't ever recommend specific tools more than the things we're already doing. Like, people seem to be owned by their schedule. And you don't need a tool to undo that. You just need to know that you need to stop overscheduling yourself, create blocks of time for yourself, stop feeding the monster that is, whether it's your schedule, whether it's social media, whatever it is. You don't really need a tool. And obviously there's tools like Pomodoro online and different websites that will help you shut out Facebook for 20 minutes so you can get work done. But I don't really like recommending those because those don't train you the way you can train your brain to recognize I can't overwork today, or I'm not
Yeah.
going to be the best parent I can be. Um, yeah, so I kind of want to recommend more of like a mindset shift than actual tools.
I love that. I think, one of the things I work with my clients is to really listen to their body and understand that their body's going to tell them, am I struggling with not getting enough nutrients from, if you're craving a salad, it's because your body needs the leafy green kind of thing. And so if you're, this concept goes on the other side. If you're craving, 5 minutes of peace and quiet and alone time, it's because you need it, or it's if you need a break from work, it's because you need it, and to not overschedule yourself or overextend yourself and really listen to your body in that sense.
Yes, I love that you share that with them because I find with all the women that I work with, it's just really hard for them to recognize it.
Mm-hmm,
Not something that we're trained to do. We're actually trained, I think, socially, culturally, to ignore it.
yeah.
Like, oh, I'm hungry, but I'll just get to that later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Food and nutrition is often an afterthought, which is really ironic when you think about it.
Very bizarre. I agree with you. And so to realize I need this stuff right now and to take care of it
Yeah.
is against what we were all raised to think we should do.
Yeah.
Thank you for reintroducing it.
Oh, well, thanks. Are there other things that you would recommend for people to stay healthy while running their businesses? Are there different areas you think people should focus on?
Yeah, other than my favorite, because it's proven to be the most effective for me, is the rejiggering of the schedule and putting in blocks for yourself. I have a 3-day block once a quarter that I do,
Mm-hmm.
tech blackout. And
Mhm.
I highly recommend for anybody who ever goes onto social media these days, which I think is all of us,
Yeah.
to try a 24-hour once a month. If you can get to 3 or 4 days, it is magical.
Yeah.
But I tend to shut off all notifications, put my phone away, put the laptop away, try to remember what a book is, just not look at any digital anything and
Mm-hmm.
detox from it. A lot of people recommend it. A lot of people don't talk about how hard it is to leading up to it. It
Yeah.
took me about 2 weeks to set things up so I feel good to go, that
Yeah.
things won't break or die without me. Uh, and then once you're in it, it's so hard to come back out of it because,
Mhm.
but the
Yeah.
mental health component of it for me has changed how I run a business, has made me much less stressed, more relaxed. I actually now, a decade into running a business that's much bigger than when I started, I work way less hours than I
Mhm.
used to.
Yeah.
It's changed lives. So I highly recommend it.
I love that. I'm a huge proponent of that. I kind of call myself a social media minimalist. So, I use social media for work, but I don't use it for personal use at all. And I try to keep the apps off my phone. Pretty much the only one that's on there is Instagram because I have to post pictures sometimes, but I rarely allow myself to scroll through it. Occasionally I will, but I work
Yeah.
really hard not to engage with social media.
Is it hard for you?
It's extremely hard. And well, I will say it was extremely hard in the beginning. Once you get past that kind of detox, the craving kind of thing, it's so easy. I just don't even think about it anymore.
I feel the same way. I laughed at somebody who recommended that I do the detox. And then I got into it and realized this is the best thing that's ever happened.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And you mentally feel so much better once you remove yourself out of the chaos that's happening on social media all the time.
Yes, you
Yeah.
do. I don't think enough women are talking about this.
Yeah.
Because social media is designed to suck us in and have us keep feeding it and feeding it and feeding it. And you don't really need to do that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You're running a business. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you've watched it too, but there was a documentary. It's like a movie / documentary that came out through the pandemic. It's called Social Dilemma, but it talks about exactly how it's really good if you haven't seen it, but it talks about how it's literally designed to suck you in. And it interviews a lot of the people that created the platforms and how they're designed and how they won't let their children get on the platforms. And
yeah, they're feeling very badly right now for having designed what they designed. Yeah, that movie was so effective that my 13-year-old who unfortunately has a phone, removed almost all of her social media apps. Every
Yeah.
single one of them.
Yeah.
I don't think there is one left. Yeah, it's really good.
It's very, very good. Yeah. Yeah. It's so amazing how transformative it can be for our lives and our mental health when we pull ourselves out of it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a dark black hole. Yeah. Terrible. Anyway. Anyway,
Digress. Yes.
detox. That's
Yeah.
what I'm all about. Yeah.
What are some other health tools that you've found when running your business? Things that, I know you worked at a sleep lab for a while. Are there a lot of us struggle with chronic fatigue or being exhausted? I know there's so many factors that play into that, but sleep is a big one. What did you learn at the sleep lab, and what can you share with us in that sense?
Yeah, I was pretty shocked when I got there and learned all of these basics that I think we've all probably read, but seeing how effective they are. Like, a lot of people believe if they get a sleepless night or two because they're up late working, that they just have to go to sleep the next night and sleep for 14 hours and they're all caught up. That's not how our bodies are wired. We all need to be, and this is really hard, but we all need to be going to sleep at the same hour every night and getting the same amount of sleep every night. Meaning, if you're at 10 p.m., go to bed at 10 p.m., but do that every night. Don't do 11 and then 8 and then 12. If you're somebody who doesn't go to bed till 2 a.m., that's fine. But you have to keep that consistent.
Yeah.
Body won't get into those rhythms where it's recovering and replenishing and your brain works again the next day.
Yeah, and it's interesting because it's really easy to get out of your circadian rhythm. It's a lot harder to get back in it. And I know that it can mess with a lot of your hormones like melatonin production and things like that. I know I've struggled with it, but I've had other clients that to get back into that and have your hormones work normally after you've gotten out of the cycle can be hard.
Long time. And unfortunately, we have this weekday versus weekend thing where everybody wants later on the weekends. So another easy one that's really hard in practice is not having that glass of wine before dinner. Bear of bad news, but a lot of people think, well, it helps me sleep, and it does help you fall to sleep a little quicker, and then it wakes you up all night long, interrupting rhythms that you can't get back into. So I've noticed people who pull back and stop doing that so much are like, oh, my whole world is different. I feel so much better. I can think again.
And it's such a thing moms tend to run into. You hear all the time, moms like, I just need my glass of wine kind of thing. And
it becomes as culturally accepted. Well, of course I need it at the end of the day. I deserve it. And if you want to sleep well, you deserve to not have that glass of wine, have something else instead.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm sure you know all of those very little itsy bitsy tips like don't look at your phone for a few hours before you go to sleep, do something more soothing before you go to bed to help you fall back into sleep every night. It's different for everybody. So there aren't really major prescriptions I have, except the biggest one I've noticed that makes the biggest difference is if you can try to go to bed at the same time every night, world of difference, about a weekend.
Yeah. And also waking up at the same time too, within like a 20, 30-minute window. Yeah.
So helpful. And then your body starts doing it for you and you don't need the alarm anymore. It's really magical. And I'm not saying all of this as though this is how I function. I'm very much a sucker on the weekends for staying up late. But I know how to sort of remedy the whole thing once I fall out of it.
Yeah. So on a more lighter note, you are an author. You've written 2 fantastic books. I love the titles, by the way.
Thank you.
Can you talk a little bit about your books? One is Found It, a field guide for mom entrepreneurs. And the other one is the best business book in the world, according to her mom. So I love that.
Thank you.
Yeah. Talk a little bit about your books. What inspired you to write them?
This one, I wrote it in 2012, Found It, a field guide for mom entrepreneurs. And I really wrote it before a lot of people said, I couldn't find a book on the topic. I couldn't find a book on the topic. There was nothing that talked about mom entrepreneurship. So the first half of the book really is for anybody who wants to go into entrepreneurship, how to sort of launch and get going. The second half of the book is how to do it with kids in tow and how to manage those phone calls with a screaming child or the napping kid. And then years later, 2018, I decided to do a compilation of my daily newsletter that goes out to my members.
Mhm.
They're sort of like the most well-received emails that I have sent. So it's a compilation of, tips and tricks and interesting stories. I really like looking at historical things, what has happened in the past and how we're kind of repeating it or
Mhm.
how we've come a long way. So it's a fun read. It's very colorful. And yes, it's the best business book in the world, according to my mom. It really is.
I love that. Love it. I'm amazed that you can keep a daily newsletter going because for me, the weekly one is always a bit of a challenge. So I commend you on that.
The easier it gets. And so I'm sort of in a nice rhythm now.
Yeah. I think
I love it. I love it.
think that's the biggest thing. The word for me is rhythm, is figuring out that rhythm, because that is with the business, it's figuring out the rhythm and how to keep everything moving. And same goes with your family and your kids, just figuring out that rhythm and making sure it doesn't get disrupted.
100%. I
Yeah.
agree. Yeah.
Yeah. So where can listeners connect with you? How can they find you online and find your books and join the founding moms?
Come hang out. If you go to foundingmoms.com,
Mhm.
you can find pretty much everything I've talked about there. If you are on the socials and not yet taking your tech detox, I am at Founding Mom all over the place. So just come and find me. Come say hi.
Awesome. And I'll link to everything in the show notes, just to make sure it's easy as possible. So I have one last question for you, Jill, but before I get to that, I just want to commend you for the work that you're doing. I think one, I love moms who, go out and be brave and take the jump and start their businesses, whatever it is, no matter how big or small that business is, and finding people that support those moms along the way, because it is such a challenge and it really is a juggling act. I just commend you for putting the support out there.
I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
And I wish more people were doing the work with me, but you're doing the work by highlighting, what we do. So thank you.
Yeah. Well, I think it's important and I just commend you for what you're doing. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So my last question for you, what advice do you have for someone who wants to make a change either in their life, in their community, or around the world?
I'm going to recommend that the only way that you can make that change is to go find somebody and talk to them about it.
Oh, I haven't heard that one before. I love that.
People want to do it, write it down in their notebooks, create an Excel spreadsheet, try to talk themselves into it. And you can't do it by yourself. You need to have, get out of the echo chamber and go find somebody who's supportive, who will let you talk it through, because they will help you. And so many people want to help other people. That stop the embarrassment, stop the whole, talking yourself out of talking to people.
Yeah.
Go find somebody. Yeah.
I think that the talking through is so important, because you get all these ideas, but sometimes it's hard to kind of link them and connect them all and put them into, something that's actually something that you can produce and create. And so, having that outside kind of influence, or even just the feedback, is so important. So what a great tip.
Well, yeah, everybody, after you hear this, come talk to me.
Yeah. Connect with you. Yes. Go to foundingmoms.com. Yes. Awesome. Well, Jill, thank you so much for spending the time with us, sharing your knowledge, and again, for supporting moms. I just love it. So thank you
for putting out this podcast. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.